Yo, what's going on YouTube? Devour here. I have not done a settings video yet. I apologize. So here it is. I have 1 minute and 30 seconds of my gameplay if you've never seen my gameplay before, just so you can see what my game looks like and what it feels like, and hopefully if you're using it well, what that looks like as well. But everything will be time coded, so if you just want one specific setting, please do get in, get out, get ahead. Healed College, shout out Healed College. But yeah, please enjoy the video. There's a lot of settings in these Call of Duties nowadays. If you don't have like a couple of settings in every single category turned on, you're gonna be at a big competitive disadvantage. And all these nerds out here already got it on, so make sure you got it on you as well. Let's get it. You need Ninja, my boy. Can't be roaming these streets without Ninja. What are you thinking?
Oh my god, get off the game.
He's thinking it's sweet out here. Oh my god.
You're set.
I might be your father.
It's off the wall in the crate? Come on, man.
In the hood, we call that a off the keezy, my love. I'm gonna need you to fix your vernacular. Oh, kind of slamming. Hold on. Oh. Backward slide for the win. Thank you.
He was right behind us.
Oh,
okay.
I wish I could just spawn in with this gun every day. Must be nice not to have to use different guns. Just spawn in with the big Jervac and the big Maddox every day. I'm kind of slamming out here, not gonna lie. Nice one shot. Oh, good finish, teammate. Thank you. Pop this. Should be good for one. Beautiful. Get a second out of it. We love that. We're gonna wrap this spawn real quick. God, I love specialists. Yeah, they just can't deal with me right now, unfortunately. Sorry, buddy. All right, no nonsense settings guide starts now. I'm gonna try to crack this out in one breath as best I can. Your button layout is totally up to you. A lot of people use bumper jumper if you don't have a nice controller. I'm sponsored by AIM controllers. You guys can use code Devour at checkout. Anytime during the holidays, we'll give you like a really big discount as well. I love having mouse click triggers on everything, mouse click buttons on everything, and having paddles on the back. That's how I use my controller. I have my back paddle set to slide and to jump. Most pros will stick anywhere from 1.5 sensitivity to 1.8 sensitivity, but a lot of people don't tell you that it really depends on how much FPS you have as well. So if you're on PS5 or whatever the latest Xbox is, you guys are capped at 120 FPS. So you're gonna need to be at around like a 1.8 in order to actually be near my sensitivity. But ideally you wanna be anywhere from 1.5 to 1.8. And then if you have less than 200 FPS, you're gonna be closer to the 1.8 side. And then hopping right into the dead zones. This is actually really, really important. I think a lot of people kind of neglect this setting. I actually need to turn mine up one because I have a little bit of stick drift in my left stick right now. You want them to be as low as possible. So if you have a brand new controller, you should have 0 stick drift. Basically, if your controller is not moving, then that's perfect. If your controller is moving, then you need to up the left stick minimum or the right stick minimum until the controller stops moving, but you want it as low as possible to be responsive as possible. The left stick max, you want that down to 80 or 70, whichever one you choose. I think Shotzi uses 75, but you want it so you don't have to push the stick all the way forward to activate your tactical sprint. That's why we lessen that one to 80, but we keep the right stick max all the way at 99 so you can be like as accurate as possible. It is very important to make sure you turn the left trigger and the right triggers off. You don't want to have any delay on your triggers, and if you have a mouse click trigger, that's even better. Sensitivity multiplier, I don't really do too much sniping. If you do sniping, then you're going to want to mess around with some of these other things, but you do want to lower that down to like a 0.9. Some people go down to 0.85 even. If you're going to be at like the 2.0 range because you're capped at 120 FPS, you probably want to do 0.8 or 0.85. That way it's going to feel like every time you zoom in, it's going to be like extra aim assist. You want to copy all these. You definitely want it on instant. Now, linear, this is a choice. A lot of Gears of War pros and Apex pros will all use linear. Pretty much every single other esport will use linear. Call of Duty is the one esport where a lot of the pros like to use dynamic. I still prefer linear. I think if you just have like good natural aim, I think linear helps you out better. But dynamic does a lot of hard carrying, but that's what the pros say. So I would try linear and dynamic, and whichever one you happen to shoot better with, go with that. But do not use standard. Just don't use standard. You either use linear or dynamic. I recommend that you try both against a lobby of bots on recruit, and whichever one you feel like you're shooting better with, please go with that one. Tactical sprint assist, you definitely want that bad boy on. You don't ever want to be bot walking around the map like my teammates in all of my search and destroy videos. You don't want to look like them because it does not instill much faith and or fear in the enemy team. And then corner slice, we got that on. I don't think you really need that on. I just think it looks kind of cool. This is one setting that I definitely do have wrong. I have mine set to slide only because I see a lot of people, they'll accidentally dive and then they'll just get completely shit on, basically. Most professional players will play on hybrid. I personally don't see the point in diving too much, and then it like overcomplicates the system for me. Maybe I'm old. I'm 32 now, so I like mine on slide only. I don't think I need to dive at all, and I like my slide to be as responsive as possible. And for the most part, on G sliding, or I'm slide canceling, or I'm slide like jumping to chow people. That's how I chow people. But if you do want to be able to dive, you definitely want to get used to hybrid as quickly as possible. That's what the majority of the professional players will be using in Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Copy all the rest of that stuff. This is all like basic, like default stuff going on right here. I'll leave it up on the screen though. We're almost done with the controller settings. We'll go into the combat real quick as well. I'm pretty sure all of this stuff is basic. I'm actually going to change this one right now, though. Instead of prioritizing finishing move, I think that's the default. I'm actually going to set it to prioritize body shield, because if we can diddy people and whisper sweet nothing in their ears, obviously that is better content. And I haven't been doing that. I apologize. I actually want to apologize. I don't think I've diddied one person yet. We're going to go on a diddying spree. I promise y'all, we're going to go on a diddying spree out here. And pretty sure all of this stuff is just default. But yeah, you can copy that stuff. Nothing like crazy competitive advantage in here. All of that stuff is basic. Overlay advanced settings. Yeah, this is all just default stuff. Just ping. Ping is up on the D-pad for me. I'm sure that's the way it is for most of you guys. And then hopping right into the interface, there is some important stuff in here. And fun fact, I like to set my, well, actually, we'll save the fun fact. But this is what I set my telemetry to: FPS counter, server latency, packet loss, and then the clock. I put the clock on just so people can kind of see what time it is for me here in Hawaii when I'm streaming and stuff. People like to ask me what time it is all the time, so I just leave it up there. Color customization, this is totally up to you. I'm a Lakers diehard fan, so I do purple and yellow. My whole team is purple. And then the enemy team, I have it set to yellow. Yellow is the first color to register in the human brain. It may sound kind of weird, but in Call of Duty, there's a lot of reddish brown textures all over the map. And yellow actually sticks out a lot more than red sticks out. It will take like 2 or 3 games for you to get used to it, but after you get used to it, I promise it will improve your overall reaction time. And if you're an OG, triple OG gamer like myself, my first Call of Duty was Call of Duty 4, then you're gonna want to have as many things as possible to help out your reaction time. It can't hurt you, it can only help you. And yeah, it's science. Don't argue with the science. And then I set all that stuff to 100%. I think it makes the game look good and sexy, and I made mine look, you know, just a little bit unique. I've been sticking with the purple and yellow for the last like 2-3 years now. We're just gonna keep it that way. We do have some important stuff in here. I set my multiplayer HUD widget scale to whatever the hell that says, but this is the important thing. I set the HUD bound in a little bit more. This is gonna bring your minimap in more. It's gonna bring your gun ammunition in more. It's gonna bring your like health bar in more. I'll just click apply there, but it helps out because then you don't have to look as far left as possible, so the minimap isn't all the way tucked inside the corner, so you can actually read your minimap a lot more effectively. And people that read their minimaps are going to be 10 times better than people who do not read their minimaps and they're just playing off intuition. I had this setting wrong for the first like 10 hours of playing this game. You do want radar off. If it's on, it's the second picture that you see to the right. If it's off, it's that first picture that you see to the left, and it shows you where all the barriers are, where all the doorways are, and stuff like that. So it gives you a much more accurate description of where the enemy teams are at. And I always do have crosshair lines on and crosshair dot on as well. I set them both to static. I have to turn them off when I do my thumbnails. That way it's not inside the picture. It's just one less thing to have to edit out to make like nice, clean, sexy looking thumbnails and stuff like that. But yeah, I set my dot to larger. There's default, larger, and largest. I think the largest is a little overkill. I think larger or default is perfect. And then I'm actually going to set this one down to 60% opacity. I thought I had it at 60. I think my settings did reset, but then you can kind of like see through it a little bit, so it helps you be a little bit more accurate. That way it's not just like a dot on someone's head, like you still see their actual head. The rest of this stuff is all default. Advanced motion control. Pretty sure all this stuff is default. Make sure the vignetting is off. I don't know if that defaults as on, but you don't want that little like black shade around your screen for no reason. Vignetting, vignette, vignettes, Renetti, whatever you want to say. Anyways, and then here's the graphics settings for all my PC nerds out there. I do play on 120 now. I think you get a lot more aim assist if most professional players will stick anywhere from 95 to 103, depending on what position they play on the map. That's going to be optimal for the most aim assist, but I play on 120 just to try to make the gameplay look as fast and as enticing as possible. Just as a content creator, I like that. I think a lot of people will default to 120, but if you've never tried like 103, 105, give it a try. You might actually end up shooting a lot better. Make sure you do have all your first-person camera movements and stuff like that set down to 50. Motion blur, you need that off. Absolutely, you need that off. Copy all this stuff. And then this is just my like PC settings. I have mine set very specifically because I like the game to look good, because I am a content creator. You guys could probably just put it all on low, especially if you're not streaming, if you're not recording content or anything. You just want to have the best performance as possible, and you want to have as much frames per second as possible. I do apologize that this video came out late. I was going to do an UMP45 video today, and I got some good footage with it. Unfortunately, it got completely ruined. The audio was just unsalvageable, unfixable. So here's the settings video. I will get that UMP45 video out as soon as possible. Peace and love, babies. Thank you guys for tuning in.
I think I changed brown, cause when the bitches hear this, they're gonna be like, wow. Smoking gas, living fast, wearing velvet. Took a 4-5 to the pelvis. Tell you money,